35-year-old Shanna Brown and 50-year-old Kenyatta Bellamy first met while living in Florida. They both moved there to escape the previous life they were living. Now, while they were living together in Kenyatta's home in Davenport, Florida, he found himself in trouble again with the law. On September 28, 2017, Kenyatta was federally indicted. However, before he was sentenced to 2 years in a federal prison, he was arrested for a DUI manslaughter and vehicular homicide. So he told Shanna to go ahead and stay in his home in Davenport and gave her money to pay all the bills while he was away in prison. Now, by April 17, 2018, Kenyatta was already in prison for the theft charge, but he was scheduled to appear for his pretrial in the DUI manslaughter case. So the court went through all the records and found out that he was actually locked up. So the state agreed that once he completes his federal sentence, he will be entitled for a bond, which was set at $3,000. On March 24, 2020, Kenyatta bonded out of jail and returned to his home in Davenport, only to find out that Shanna had allowed another man to move in. Instead of him freaking out and catching another charge, Kenyatta just leaves to gather himself. Now, on March 27, 2022, Kenyatta decided to go over to the house to pressure wash the driveway, but when he walked inside the house, he heard something that sounded like a man and female being intimate. So he slowly creeps into the bedroom and finds out that Shanna and Donovan Morgan were in his bed having relations. Now, at first, Kenyatta just left the house and called his mother to let her know he was coming to see her. But when he attempted to get a bus ticket, he found out that everything was shut down due to the virus. This causes him to lose his mind. He grabs a hammer that was inside the garage, then walked back into the house to confront Shanna. As he walked in the room, Shanna approaches Kenyatta trying to calm him down, but as soon as she got close enough, Kenyatta began hitting her multiple times with the hammer. Donovan, who was sitting there witnessing this, rushed over to try to help Shanna, but Kenyatta started wailing on him as well. Now, when Donovan wouldn't stop resisting, Kenyatta then grabs a kitchen knife and proceeds to stab him repeatedly until he failed. Now, he had to come up with a plan to try to cover all this up, so he goes and retrieves a can of gasoline, douses it all over the bedroom, and lights it on fire. Afterwards, he cleans himself off and walks into the front room where Shanna's son was. He finally comes to his senses and returns to the room and puts out the fire. Then him and her son left. He then goes over to a relative's house and drops him off, and him and a female cousin went out for dinner. While they were eating, Kenyatta begins venting to her about how he was upset that another man was living in his house. After they finish eating, Kenyatta tells his cousin to just drop him off at a convenience store.